Where do you buy in Bend if money is no object? It's not just about buying the most expensive house you can afford. Instead, you need to look closely at the lifestyle you want and choose the neighborhood that aligns well with that. There's a lot that goes into this decision, and that's what we're going to cover in this video. So in each neighborhood we're going to talk about the vibe of each neighborhood, the price points that you can expect, and generally just the feeling of the place to get a sense of the lifestyle that you're looking for. And finally, who thrives there and what to watch out for before choosing one of these neighborhoods. And if you stick with me to the end, I'm going to show you one of the extra special estates that lies outside of Bend city limits. And it's not just about the neighborhood, the amenities that it has to offer, but we're talking about an ultra wealthy estate that trades proximity to town for big acreage. So if we haven't met yet, my name is Luke Callahan. I'm your Bend, Oregon real estate expert. I help people like you every single day make the move to Central Oregon, and I make sure that you make the right move in the right neighborhood, the right house the first time, so you don't waste a bunch of time moving into a home or a neighborhood that isn't the right place for you. Okay, so for this video, I have made a map tool, and this is actually a pretty complicated tool, but let me show you the rundown of it. And if you want to download it, you can click on the QR code, click the link below, or take a picture of the QR code and download it and follow along for the sake of this video, because I'm going to go through all the neighborhoods with the map tour as well. And it's a really cool tool, and especially if you are interested in like school districts. So I'll show you the map real quick and then we'll get into the neighborhoods. So this is like a Google My Maps thing, and you can basically, it has all the different school districts. So this is Summit, this is Mountain View, this is Caldera, Bend Senior High School. So you can see like, okay, if we're looking in this neighborhood, what high school are we going to be in? And then there's a bunch of, and you can turn that layer on and off. You can turn on the high schools, you can turn on elementary schools, you can turn on new developments, and then you have these resorts and gated communities like we're talking about today. And then you also have this cool layer, which is all the new construction phases. So we have Petrosa, we have Easton, and we have Discovery West. And so this is actually like, if you want to see what phase of construction is this, oh, this is Discovery West phase 5. Or similarly, like you're looking at Easton, let me see what phase we're in. Oh, phase 6, phase 2, so on and so forth. Okay, so that gives you a sense. And then let me just show you one other thing. Oh, we also have the UGB here. So if you want to see what's in the urban growth boundary, let me turn off some of these other layers. And where are the expansion infill areas? So like this is Stevens Ranch. These are basically all the areas that are getting expanded where the urban growth boundaries were expanded in 2016. So there is a lot of data here. I'm a total nerd. I'm going to continue to expand this map over time. But if you want it, click the link. It's a super great resource. Make sure you star it or favorite it, because that's just kind of the way you need it if you want to access it for the long time. Here's all the different neighborhood districts. Butte should be filled in, but it's not. Anyways, there's the map. I hope you like it. Let me know what would be helpful to improve about it as we get into it. And I know it's a little overwhelming, but for the sake of this, I want to talk about these different neighborhoods we have here. And so we are talking about 5 different neighborhoods today. We're talking about the Highlands at Broken Top. We're talking about Broken Top Resort itself. We're talking about Tethro. And you see on this map, we have all the different communities of Tethro. So like this is the Heath. Here we have, I think it's North 40. Here we have the Crescent, and so it gives you a lay of the land of all the different communities within Tethro. And then here we have Aubrey Glen Golf Club, North Rim Estates on Aubrey Butte. And that's what we're covering today. So without further ado, let's get into it. First up, we have the Highlands at Broken Top. You can see let me put on our UGB, and you can see the Highlands are actually right outside of the UGB. So we're basically, rural, so to speak, as far as that's concerned. 10-acre parcels. They're going for about $2 million nowadays for an empty parcel. There's not a lot of empty parcels left. I think like maybe that's one, and there's a few others. And then otherwise, the homes are anywhere from $5 to $10 million. They're on well and septic. They basically surround this McAlpine loop with a few of these little spurs that come off, like the one we're looking at, Belmore. And then you've got access to Phil's Trailhead, which is again like the jumping off point to the best mountain biking in Bend. And then we have Summit High right here, an incredible coffee shop in Thump Coffee right here. And then super easy to get to the mountain, aka via Century Drive. You're just literally a pop there. Oh, and by the way, Good Dog, if you have a dog, is like the spot to bring your pups to let them off leash and wander for miles and miles. It's a dusty endeavor in the summer, but it's a sweet spot. So there you can see Century Drive take you all the way to Mount Bachelor and the Cascade Lakes Highway, all that good stuff. And then that kind of gives you a lay of the land. Here's Bend Municipal Airport. All the way up here, you've got Redmond Municipal. So again, if you want to fly private, you fly out of Bend. If you want to fly public, commercial, you fly out of Redmond. So there you go. Here, the Highlands at Broken Top, you can really get a sense of the privacy, right? Like this is Broken Top next, and it's a totally different vibe. This is 50 estates, and this is like, I think it's like 600. Don't quote me on that. But you can see the density is quite different. This is very much you want to come here and have your own experience in the world. Do that. And this is very much you want to walk your dog and have everybody say hi to you and your pup. This is where you get that. So let's talk about Broken Top a little bit. You come in Broken Top Drive. On your left, you've got access to the pool. You have the pickleball courts, the tennis court. You get into the townhomes over here. There's a few over here. And then beyond that, you're kind of in the two main loops, which is Tam MacArthur Loop, which is kind of connected to Broken Top. So you got Broken Top Drive, Tam MacArthur, and then you also have Green Lakes as the outer loop. And that pretty much is your Broken Top resort. It's pretty insular. Lots of people walk these neighborhoods all the way around. There's walking paths throughout, nice water features. It's a really pleasant place for the, like, you know, you have your supper and want to go on a walk with your honey. It's a great setup. I guess I'd say it's subdued luxury here. You get like really high quality estate living, really quiet. It's really intentional to come live here. It's like you are coming to live in this village within Bend. Like once you're inside the gates, there's friction to get outside of the gates as well as into the gates. So it's like kind of created that sense of when you're home, you know everybody in the neighborhood, and that's what you get here. Now let's bop down to Tetherow. And Tetherow is sweet because it's, whereas like Broken Tops is very much built in the 90s, 2000s, Tetherow is much newer. So you get Broken Top in general has that vibe of mountain chalet, wood and stone aesthetic. Tetherow is newer. It's like the Instagram to Broken Top's Facebook. It is modern vibes, a lot more glass, a lot more of natural light, that real modern vibe. And then the composition of the neighborhood is different in a sense too, where you have a lot more short-term rentals. So I think it's down in here. Let's see, now we got down here. Basically you have people like kind of this area is short-term rental. You have the lodge and you have the event space down in here. So one of my favorite books is called A Pattern Language by Christopher Alexander. And the premise, one of the patterns he talks about is that as you get closer, further into a village, further into a home, it gets more intimate. So like when you first enter, you have these tall ceilings to welcome people because it's more public. It's like the entryway, it's more formal. And then as you get further in, it gets more private and intimate. And this is more the short-term rental stay. People who are coming for a season, whatever, come to romp around, enjoy and enjoy the place. And then if you want to like the luxury estates, you get into the Heath, you get up here into Tartan Drum, you get over here into the Crescent, and then all the way back tucked in here, you have North 40, and which is much quieter. You basically cruise all the way down Hosmer Lake Drive. So that kind of gives you a layout of what's going on in Tetherow. You can kind of choose what you want to get here. If you want golf course living, high-end luxury estates, there's also some really cool homes right here that are worth checking out on Highlands Ridge that are these monsters. Anyways, that's kind of the idea of Tetherow. Let me show you a bit again where it is. Now, one thing to remember, all these neighborhoods we're talking about today are all within all right, what school district is this? Come on, tell me, you know it. We're quizzing you. What is this? That's right, Summit High School. It's intentional. It's the highest rated high school in the area. Further ado, let's talk a little bit about the two neighborhoods on Aubrey Butte and one other that I didn't get to mention but is worth mentioning. So Aubrey Butte, again, is up here in northwestern Bend. Well, this isn't technically southwestern Bend, but for all intents and purposes, you could say it is. So you bop up here. This is the butte that is like, It's hard to tell from the map, but if we pop over to our Google Earth view, and this is a cool thing to know about for the map, you click these 3 dots here and then pop down to Google Earth. It gets like a cool terrain layer. I'm not the best at flying it, so if you get seasickness. But the 2 neighborhoods I want to talk about are the North Rim Estates and then Aubrey Glen. And there's a real analog here between the North Rim Estates and the Highlands at Broken Top, and then Aubrey Glen and Broken Top itself, or Tethero. And the main things I'm telling you about that is the neighborhood vibe. Here, it's more, and in general, Aubrey Butte is more of that Highlands Broken Top vibe where you come here to get your estate and kind of do your thing. You know, you want the privacy. You want the privacy. You come to Aubrey Glen and you're looking for that neighborhood golf experience. Aubrey Glen does a really good job of, again, getting people together, pairing them up on tee times, getting you to know everybody in your neighborhood. So some people like to be in the North Rim or just in general on the Butte and then just be members of Aubrey Glen, so they get their social when they want it, they get their privacy when they don't. And then similarly, River's Edge is totally a course worth knowing about. We're not going to talk about a ton, but same kind of vibe. If you want the golf course living, you're a little bit closer to town and River's Edge community than you are on the backside of the Butte. So you get the eastern light coming on the Butte, which is pretty nice. I always like to have that eastern light in the morning. The west side, you get the incredible sunsets. So, you know, take what you want. North side, this is the highest end luxury homes in the North Rim Estates on Aubrey Butte. So again, you're looking in the $1.5 to $5 million range for these estates. Privacy, great views. And you whitewater paddlers, Aubrey Glen. So I think we've covered that. Anyways, I hope this gives you a lay of the land. This is my first time using the map. You can download it at that link, like I mentioned, the QR code. This gives you a cool lay of the land, and it will just continue to get better. Let me know what we can do to improve this map. Yeah, I hope that helps you get a lay of the land. Okay, as I promised, we've got the bonus segment, the ultra wealthy ranch estates. In the future, I'll do way deeper dives into this, but this will just give you a little taste of what's available out here in Central Oregon. This is a whole other world. We're talking the private ranch estates outside of Bend. Think Ted Turner vibes. These are not neighborhoods, they are nations. Okay, so let's look at one of these examples, and that is Huntington Road, Lapine, $25.6 million. Let's talk about it. All right, here we go. Step into ultimate ranch luxury in Lapine. Sprawling 1,499 acre estate perched over the Little Deschutes River. You've got panoramic mountain and water views. The log-style home features a massive deck with private dock, while equestrian facilities, barns, and paved riding trails set the stage for a high-end lifestyle. And if you are interested in the land game, give me a call because there's a ton of options and there's a lot to know, specifically around water rights. Depends what your goal is. If you're getting into land, it's for legacy, passing it on for generations, a way to preserve wealth. And there's some of these parcels or multiple parcels that appreciate over time and some that don't. And so there's a few caveats that you really need to be aware of, but that is for another time. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. My name is Luke Callahan. As always, if you're looking to move to Bend, I'm your guy. Hit me up anytime, and I would love to make sure that you buy the right house in the right neighborhood the first time. I will see you in the next video. I hope you take care.